Baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by your SoCal Land Rover retailers. Here we go, homestand finale, and Hyun-Jin Ryu ready to take the ball for the Dodgers, trying to pitch them to a series win, perhaps back into first place, depending on how the Colorado-San Francisco game goes tonight. Here in Game 3 between the Dodgers and the Mets. Let's meet the Mets lineup, brought to you by 76. Their hottest hitter leads things off. That's Ahmed Rosario, followed by the rookie Jeff McNeil. Wilmer Flores at first, hitting third. Frazier, Conforto, and Jackson in the middle. Plawecki catches, and Brandon Nimmo in right, hitting eighth. Hyun-Jin Ryu, fifth start off of the disabled list, and has been very good against New York in his career with a 1.69 ERA.
When healthy this year, he has been outstanding. Dodgers glad to have him back in the rotation. The pitch that has really improved is his cut fastball. A lot of weak contact, a lot of ground balls with it. Actually, the highest ground ball percentage on a cutter in the whole National League. So reuses that pitch a lot, especially away from the changeup, breaking in two different directions, two different speeds.
Something that he incorporated last year. He's really cranked the usage up as this year has gone on. The Dodgers dropping the opener Monday night 4-2, coming back with an 11-4 win last night. So this the rubber match, and off we go with strike one on Rosario. Dodgers have won 9 of 11, trying to, for the first time this year, put together a 10-2 stretch. Quickly 0-2. Mets meanwhile are at 62 and 76, but they've been a whole lot better the last couple months. In fact, above 500 the last 2 months. Here's an 0-2. Little bit inside. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Dodgers looking up at the scoreboard yesterday and see both Arizona and Colorado were probably going to put W's away, and they had a nice come from behind victory. Give themselves a shot to win the series now today.
They trailed that game 4-0, with the Mets getting a pair of 2-run home runs against Rich Hill, but then 11 unanswered for the Dodgers. It's been a while since they've had kind of a laugher, and it wasn't that until the late innings.
You're right, but it was time to breathe once they got those runs on the board. It had been tight for a lot of games.
It's in on Rosario, who fouls it off. We mentioned Rosario, their hottest hitter. First full season in the majors, and he's gotten better and better as this year has gone on. This road trip, really the best that he's been. 440 on this trip. Waits on another 1-2. Puts it in play gently to third. He can really run, so Turner's got to hurry, and he beats it out, opening the game with an infield single.
Max Muncy feeling Justin Turner's throw into his glove, and then also feels the vibration on the bag. He wanted him to review this once the play happened. We're taking a look here.
They are going to review it. Earliest review all year.
He looks like he's going to be out, maybe by about an inch or two. The spikes start to compress the bag before the ball goes in the glove. He looks out.
I think you're right.
Rosario needs longer spikes.
Well, the way that umpires are taught fundamentally to do that is to look for the foot hitting and listen for the pop of the glove.
And that pop wasn't going to be very loud, with Justin Turner making the wrong-footed play over at third. The throw had a little bit of an arc in it. It definitely was bang, bang.
Who's hot, who's not? I tell you who's not. First base umpires in this series.
As far as the fair foul call?
Yeah. And now this. One gone in the first inning. Get your whiteout out already.
Nice play, Justin Turner. Weakly hit ground ball, turned it into an out.
And so one away with the bases empty, and the rookie Jeff McNeil stands in. Been a nice find for these Mets. One of the very few silver linings to this rough year. Came up in late July, and he's been their best hitter since. Strike one.
It would be bad to be keeping score and being a perfectionist if you would have wrote that down as Rosario reaching, and then all of a sudden you got to go back.
Yeah. Already happened.
I'd have to get a fresh scorecard.
It's outside 1-1. Too much invested in this scorecard already, Oral. No turning back now.
Okay. Just don't glance back to the first batter of the game.
No looking back. On a 1-1 pitch, McNeil. It's a fly ball to center field that sends Bellinger a few steps back. 2 up, 2 down.
When Rosario was hitting, it was overcast and there was no shadows to deal with, and the clouds kind of keep coming in and out. We're seeing the sun. When the sun's out, it's going to be interesting to hit. There's going to be a glare and some bad lighting for the hitters.
A comfortable 73-degree afternoon. 2 gone first inning. Here's Wilmer Flores. And Ryu starts him with a strike. Called by Mark Wegner, who was the home plate umpire for Game 7 of the World Series here. More clouds just rolled in as I said that. Other than 2.
Yeah, you just kind of put a damper on our mood.
I'm sorry.
Just the facts, though.
Does it help if I tell you Hyun-Jin Ryu's a pitch away from a 1-2-3 first?
Feeling better.
All right. 1-2. Ryu coming off a really good outing. Season best 7 innings Friday against Arizona. He gave up the 2-run home run in the first inning, but nothing after that. He gave the Dodgers a chance to come from behind and win it dramatically. He lets the 1-2 fly and pops the mid in the corner. Strike 3. Pinpoint control from Hyun-Jin in this first inning. The Mets down in order. Zach Wheeler to the mound when you come back. Their lineup presented by 76. Jock Peterson is at the top of it. And the rookie Verdugo. Turner bats third. Manny Machado getting the afternoon off. Muncy, Bellinger, and Grandal with Kike Hernandez at short. And Brian Dozier hitting eighth. This is Zach Wheeler. You hear all about Jacob deGrom, and for good reason, but Zach Wheeler, since the All-Star break, has been as good as anybody in baseball.
Fastball command has gone way up. The weak contact on his off-speed stuff is much better. And all in all, he's a hard-throwing guy that now is starting to command the off-speed stuff.
First pitch of the day misses to Peterson, 1-0. Dodgers saw Wheeler in June and scored 4 runs over 7 innings, although all 4 of those runs came in a grand slam from Cody Bellinger. Nothing in the other 6 innings. He's pitched in this ballpark once, and it was one of the worst starts of his career. Last June, he gave up 7 runs in 2 innings. On a 2-1. He gets strike 2 on Peterson. And you talk about some places you just feel good on the mound. You can't even put your finger on what it is necessarily. I can't imagine there's too many good feelings when your one start on that mound went like that. That's foul, and we'll do the 2-2 again.
Yeah, it's something you want to get out of your system right away. So a good first inning here for him would erase a lot of that. Got a little help now from the shadows.
And he gets Peterson. Not that he's needed any kind of help. 119 earned run average since the break. Continued that with his 7 innings against San Francisco earlier on this trip. Gave up just 1 run. And a former top prospect who is starting to pitch like it. Finally healthy. A couple years removed from Tommy John surgery.
You see the difference in the earned run average there and getting a lot more wins. Split finger fastball is something he added this year. Maybe getting the hang of that also.
Alex Verdugo takes a strike.
The 91-mile-an-hour pitch that struck out Jock Peterson was a splitter.
91-mile-per-hour splitter. Ball on a strike.
I'm going to split my fingers a little bit. It's going to take some velocity off. Not only that, maybe make it dip a little bit at the end. If he stays on top of it, it's a nasty pitch.
Right there.
That's it again. Sometimes it acts like just a changeup, and other times when he gets through it and actually gets that hand going down through the ball dips like that.
Verdugo taps it back to him, and Wheeler will shovel it to first. 2 up, 2 down.
Both starting pitchers look like they are on their game. 2 completely different styles, throwing with different hands, but one is definitely a power pitcher for the New York Mets, and the other one a little bit more of a finesse pitcher in Ryu.
Well, something for everybody on this Wednesday afternoon. Justin Turner stands in with the bases empty and 2 out. Top hitter in baseball since he came off of the DL in early August, hitting .391. Goes after the first pitch, and it's foul. His on-base plus slugging in that time, just to give you some perspective, league average is about .725. His is over 1,200 since he returned. Down to 0-1. Takes strike 2. A ball and 2 strikes. Two and 2. Justin Turner takes strike 3. Fastball to 98, and both pitchers execute 1, 2, 3 first. Off and rolling. You're having a great day. Glad you're with us. Catch on Monday night, sprawling into the crowd. Look at that ball on the table. All right. So he falls, he makes the catch, shows the ball. This fan here in the Turner jersey also has a ball, which is interesting. Well. We've got a good old-fashioned controversy here as Frazier takes ball 1 from Hyun-Jin Ryu. No, I'm not going to give you that ball that I caught back because it's a rubber ball that I found on the ground. Hits this ball in the air to left center. Jock Peterson will settle under it for the first out. Yes, Todd Frazier has admitted that he in fact dropped the ball as he tumbled into the crowd. Happened to find a ball laying there. Didn't realize it at the time until he reached into his glove to pull it out. But that ball sitting on the table there is actually the one that he held up to the umpire. And the ball that the fan in the Turner jersey had, that was the ball that was popped in the air by Alex Verdugo, and the one that Frazier needed to hold on to for it to be official. And when the pitcher wanted the ball back, reached into the glove, felt that it was a totally different ball than they're used to using, and said, I better not put this back into circulation. Strike 1 on Conforto, and so flipped it into the crowd, moved on, but admitted it after the game.
He's a magician. Very good sleight of hand. I love it.
0-2. He said today, we are in Hollywood. You got to act a little bit.
And it wasn't the third out, so he couldn't bring that ball back and like throw it around the infield, get it back to the pitcher. Got to get rid of the evidence.
Fan in the Turner jersey who found the real ball had to be thinking, wait a minute. This isn't what my souvenir ball felt like. Conforto with a home run in last night's game against Rich Hill. He's hit 3 of them on this 8-game road trip for New York. On a 1-2 from Ryu, Conforto hacks it foul.
Alex Verdugo will probably get that at bat back somehow. It's like he's been hot, but he's been really hotter. Should have been still at the plate.
Yeah, it's a good story to everybody except Alex. Another 1-2.
We don't think of Ryu as a strikeout pitcher. I think of him as a very strategic pitcher, that he will go for the strikeout when he needs it. He's really just going for weak contact until a big situation where he needs to go and reach back for the sharper curveball, the harder fastball, the better cutter.
He's retired the first 5, pulling the string on Conforto for his second K.
Carl's Cam will show us this changeup out in front.
Two outs. Austin Jackson. Strike one. Strike one. Key pitch for any pitcher, especially Hyun-Jin Ryu. When you look at the breakdown of what happens when he gets strike one versus when he begins the at-bat with a ball. It's a ball and a strike. So when he gets strike one, OPS is 405. When he starts an at-bat with a ball, the hitter becomes better than league average. Falls behind after getting strike one to Jackson. 2-1.
It just shows the value of strike one right there. You know, 2 pitches where you might get him to chase, hit it weakly. And even if you throw 2 bad ones, you're only in a 2-1 count.
Jackson drives the ball to right center field, but it's an easy play for Alex Verdugo to finish off a 1-2-3 second. Ryu's retired the first 6 that he's faced. Bottom of the second, no score. Dodgers and Mets wrapping up the season series today. Dodgers with a chance to take 5 of 6 from New York this year. So no base runners in this one. 6 up, 6 down for Ryu. The Dodgers went down in order against Zach Wheeler in the first. Next Muncy to lead off the second. Perfectly placed fastball. You've seen Wheeler a couple times, I know, in person in recent years, but he looks a whole lot more fluid to you than you remember, huh?
There seems to be a better rhythm to everything he's doing. The step back as he comes down the hill, and especially at the moment of truth, which is like foot strike. If pitchers can do exactly what they want right into foot strike, then you can explode. A lot of times for me, he would go after his pitches a little too early, like a heartbeat before foot strike.
Strike 3 to the top of the zone, 1 out.
Center fielder.
Now, if there's one guy who's figured him out, it is Cody Bellinger. And Cody takes on Zach Wheeler today. Brought to you by AARP. 3 for 5 against him with 3 home runs, including a grand slam to account for all the scoring when they saw him in June.
The first one you feel good about. The second one you're like, I'm starting to own this guy. The third one you're like, send a limo for him. I need to make sure he gets to the ballpark safe.
You mean Bellinger get the limo for Wheeler?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where's the Mets staying? I'll be sending a car for him.
Brings him in 0-1. Fastball to the corner, strike 2. Lays off this one. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Taking a while to get to this pitch. Wheeler knowing the bat's probably going to be moving if he gets it close. He wants to pick the right one.
Man, he is painting so far.
Catcher number 9,
Wheeler learned a lot from watching Jacob deGrom's side works. Jacob throws a couple of them between starts, and in one he throws all fastballs. And Wheeler noticed that and said, you know what? I have trouble with the location of my fastball on my glove side. Maybe this would help. So he changed his workout routine between starts.
Strike 1 on Grandal.
And found a lot better fastball command, especially to the inside part of the plate to a left-handed hitter, the outside part of the plate to the right-handed hitter.
Weekly pop to left. Conforto's there. 1-2-3. Go the Dodgers here in the second. Kike Hernandez with a tip of the cap onto the third. spotlight. And the Dodgers this season, when they allow 4 runs or less, well above 500, but you give up 5, it's kind of that magic number. Good thing is they have 12 consecutive games where the pitching has held the opposition to 4 or less. They've gone 9-3 in that span. Hyun-Jin Ryu back to the mound, bottom third of the Mets order. First one to Kevin Plawecki, misses up and away. Dominant pitching through 2, no base runners. 6 up, 6 down on 25 pitches for both Zach Wheeler and Hyun-Jin Ryu. Who delivers 1-0, and Plawecki watches it drop into the zone, strike 1.
Ryu getting back into this count. 5 of 7 of the hitters have seen a first pitch strike.
Disappears on him, 2-2.
The monster is on his game, and he's yet to hit.
Yeah, that's true. We haven't even gotten this party started yet.
Oh, he can really hit.
Put on the Jet album. Turn up the volume. It's Ryu Day.
Party time.
Four and 1 with a 224. Fires another 2-2 and gets Plawecki swinging with a fastball.
MLB at Bat is your #1 Dodger app. Customize your experience to catch every moment this season. Get Dodger home screen icons, features such as MLB.TV Game of the Day, pitch tracking, in-game highlights, live radio broadcasts, stats, news, and more. Download MLB at Bat today.
One of the great personalities in baseball right here in Brandon Nimmo. He takes strike 1. That's just one of the most positive personalities you're going to find. Somebody that's really embraced in New York. As he's busted onto the scene this year, first full year in the majors. He's top 5 in the league in on-base percentage.
Well, when he plays the Dodgers, he's got somebody to smile with. That guy right there plays a very joyful game. Makes everybody around him happy.
Fades a change in there, 1-2. You know, Nimmo, there's a category you can find on Fangraphs, runs created plus. It's basically just a way to give you guys overall offensive value. By that, he's the 2nd most valuable offensive player in the National League. Ryu's still able to get him swinging. 2 up and 2 down in the 3rd.
That was some pretty amazing company. Right? I saw Yelich and I saw Goldschmidt on there.
And that's one of the things I know the same for you. When you're looking at advanced stats, there are some metrics you look at and say, well, wait a minute. If that guy's leading it, maybe you shouldn't weight it that heavily or weigh it that heavily. But when you see names like that, and you know that it's probably a pretty darn good list when you're looking at ways to figure out a guy's overall value. That's fouled and strike 1 on Wheeler. You have 3 MVP candidates on there: Carpenter, Yelich, and Goldschmidt.
So the average offensive contributor comes in at 100.
Exactly.
And he's already up there. He's at 149. Only one guy above him.
Breaking ball to the corner, 0-2.
In some ways, it makes me think you got like almost 1.5 players contributing to your offense. Because if it's 100 is average, you're 149. You're right there.
So to get nitty gritty on what that number means, if it's 150, that player is considered to contribute 50% more runs than your average player. So runs created is the stat.
And it's got to include what? Moving runners up, getting the sac fly, the RBIs, getting on base.
All of it.
Getting all the second base, hitting home runs. It's all of it. Anything that contributes to a run. I like the stat.
1-2. Wheeler flexes one into right center field. There's Verdugo, and once through the order, perfect for Hyun-Jin Ryu. Dodgers baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by the Southern California BMW Centers. Hurry in today to the BMW Summer On Sales event for exceptional offers. Details at SoCalBMW.com. And by Jack in the Box. Try something different like Jack's Teriyaki Bowls. Only at Jack in the Box for a limited time. Bottom three, no score. Bottom third of the order against Zach Wheeler. Kike Hernandez to lead things off. Then it's Dozier. Then it's Ryu. Career high 19 home runs for Kike. Lately, though, it's not been about the power as much as it's been about the batting average, the on-base percentage. Been spraying a lot more quality line drives around the park. A lot of harder contact. Pokes this one in the air to right center field. And as we talk about line drives, he flies out to center, and Austin Jackson.
We'll be at Dodger Stadium on Saturday, September 22nd at 6:10 when the Dodgers host the Padres during the final series here at home. The first 40,000 fans in attendance will receive a Manny Machado bobblehead presented by State Farm. For tickets, visit Dodgers.com/promotions.
Manny getting a rare day off today. Dave Roberts likes to string those together in front or behind of off days, scheduled off days. For his everyday guys like Machado, will have tomorrow off as well. Ball one on Brian Dozier.
If this game stays close, it won't be a complete off day. They'll use both those bats right there.
So they shouldn't go any harder in that little mock boxing match they were having.
No.
Save it.
And if they're going to sit together the whole game, I'm sure there's going to be a selfie taken.
That's at the knees. 1-2 on Dozier, who is battling through a bit of a slump right now. 1 for his last 22. And it goes back even farther than that. Now, the redeeming thing early in his time with the Dodgers was that he was still getting on base at a high clip, but that has fallen off as well in recent weeks. He's in there, but hitting 8th tonight against the right-handed pitching Wheeler, who brings him a 2-2. Takes this one, full count. Ryu waits on deck. Got him swinging.
Number 99, Ryu.
It's got exceptional run on it and late movement. You can't say enough about late movement with any pitcher.
Or to you, who has retired all 9 that he's faced. Tries to keep Wheeler from doing the same. Looks at a strike.
Walker Buehler had this situation, hitting 9th. Got the first hit for the Dodgers in his last start. Ryu's got that opportunity here. There's the slugger.
Two starts ago, Ryu had 2 hits himself.
Falling off 98 miles an hour. He's locked in. This is his 11th start, but he is hitting .235.
You're going to have to try harder than that, he says to Wheeler.
No, I'm not biting.
So now a 2-2. Punch foul. I mentioned the .235 average. Your average pitcher about 115. He's at least forced him to throw a few pitches. This will be the 7th. Another 2-2. And a bouncing ball left side, cut off by Frazier. Both pitchers perfect once through the lineup. To the 4th we go. No score. Pollo Loco. Here's Alana.
All right, Joe, thanks very much. Yesterday on the broadcast, we had discussed the unlikelihood that Kenley Jansen was going to go to Colorado, or the possibility of such. And in fact, it is now a definitive decision from the Dodgers. Kenley Jansen will not be going to Colorado after, of course, dealing with that irregular heartbeat. When we were there about 3 to 4 weeks ago, he met with the cardiologist yesterday. It was mentioned by the cardiologist, a recommendation that he does not go. Of course, the Dodgers wanting to make sure that they listen to those orders. He will not go. He will stay here in California, continue to work out. He will rejoin his teammates in Cincinnati, guys.
All right, Alana, and so it will be interesting to see the way the Dodgers navigate the late innings in a ballpark where it can be notoriously difficult to do so.
Dave Roberts hinted a little bit about Pedro Baez because he is on such a hot streak right now, but of course it'll be by matchup and more bullpen / closer by committee. That is a big blow to the Dodgers to not have Kenley in Colorado, especially when you're chasing them and down by a half a game, but you've got to do what's best first for Kenley.
Well, those two guys are having a good time today, aren't they? Good buddies, Matt Kemp, Manny Machado. Second time through the order for New York. Here's Ahmed Rosario, grounded to third his first time. Kind of funny to look back now that we're through 3 innings and there's not been a base runner. It looked like Rosario started the game by reaching, and in fact was initially ruled safe, but it was overturned. And New York ruled that Justin Turner's throw had just beaten him at first. 2-0 this time. Told the story last night about Rich Hill and his older brother taping his right arm behind his back, forcing him to become a left-handed thrower. Hyun-Jin started playing baseball when he was 10, and it just so happened that the first glove that his dad gave him was for a left-hander. There's the first base runner of the game. Rosario drops a hit into center. And so even though Hyun-Jin very clearly was a right-handed thrower, he began pitching with his left hand. You may notice he's a right-handed hitter. 2 guys on one staff who were meant to throw right-handed, and for one reason or another throw with the left hand and make a living doing it. Leadoff man aboard. Jeff McNeil takes ball 1.
What a blessing to have so much ability in your body that you could have ended up being a big leaguer with either hand. It's absolutely amazing the wiring these guys are blessed with. Eye-hand coordination, the ability to cock their arm back and throw the ball firmly and spin it.
That's a fair ball. Rosario, the Mets' fastest runner, rounding third. Verdugo relays it into Dozier, and they're going to hold Rosario at third on a double from Jeff McNeil. And so after 3 innings with nothing, Mets have him at second and third with nobody out here in the 4th.
Right down the line. This one is easily read by the first base umpire that it is fair, and it gets into the corner. Alex Verdugo did a very nice job. The 2 base runners, Rosario gets the stop sign, and they both were able to put on the brakes. Full speed, good coaching, good observing.
Talked about it in the first or second inning about how important strike 1 is to Hyun-Jin Ryu. Both of these hits in the 4th have come after he fell behind 1-0. See if he can get ahead of Wilmer Flores. Yep, nothing in 1.
And this is where sometimes you will see a different Ryu, where he all of a sudden will reach back, and you might see some 94-mile-an-hour fastballs. And especially now with 1 strike, I think the breaking stuff will be a little bit sharper. Having to trust Yasmani Grandal behind the plate and blocking the ball.
off of Ryu, and the Mets catch a break here as it trickles behind first. Rosario scores, giving the Mets the game's first run.
Ryu sticks his foot out. Maybe the Dodgers record one out, but he was a little bit off balance. Weight on the right leg. The left leg is free as it comes through. He just used his foot, kicks it in a direction where there is no Dodger fielder.
So 3 consecutive hits for the Mets to open the 4th. And with runners at the corners, here's Frazier. Takes a strike. Seen a couple things on social media about Frazier, and some having fun with it, some saying, well, he cheated. How do you put into perspective what happened on that play the other night?
Gamesmanship. Very subtle, very crafty. Yeah, he cheated, but he got away with it in a very big way. And I'm glad it wasn't some unbelievably, special out that needed. That would be something if it was like the 9th inning and they got out of a jam or something.
I think it's key in Todd's defense, too, that he didn't realize when he held that ball up that it wasn't the game ball. He's down quickly. Ryu gets the first out of the inning. He didn't realize there was an additional ball that was going to roll off of the shelf and be right in front of him. Figured, here's a ball I'm laying on top of after I just dropped the ball. It's got to be the one that I just dropped, right? It wasn't until he reached into the glove after they had already said that Verdugo was out. It wasn't until then that he realized that, wait a minute.
The one under his armpit there is the one he ends up picking up off the floor, which is that one. Felt that it was rubber and threw it into the stands.
Conforto carves out a fly ball to left. McNeil to the bag to tag up. Peterson under it. That's very shallow. McNeil still comes home. Bad decision. Grandal lost the ball and the run scores. Inning should have been over, but it pops out of Grandal's mitt, and the Mets lead at 2-0.
It's a great throw from Jock Peterson. The Mets pushing the envelope, and there's plenty of time to get this ball in the glove. Osmani just never got a handle on it. Take a look here. Okay, it's down. He's trying to reach in there and grab it with his bare hand. It ends up being juggled and never really captured. Osmani slammed and threw his glove into the ground because he has really struggled with a few balls in the last month that have kind of clanged around on him.
It was shocking that McNeil even tried to come home. That thing was probably only 100 feet beyond the infield.
He was out by 30 feet.
So it's 2-0, and Austin Jackson takes a strike on the inside corner.
Not only should they have been out of the inning, now you got to run around third in scoring position with 2 out.
Floater down the line. They take further advantage. Jackson trying to turn it into a double. Verdugo's got the best arm in the system, according to some. Shows it off to retire the side. But the Mets take advantage of the drop from Grandal and lead it 3-0 to the bottom of the 4th.
Dodgers follow Matt Kemp to the Warstick Sports showroom as he looks to upgrade his gear. Plus, Kemp's late-game heroics lead the Dodgers to 2 comeback wins in a row. Don't miss Backstage Dodgers, presented by Cadillac, Friday after the postgame on Sportsnet LA.
Well, the Dodgers trying to overcome that top of the 4th inning, down 3-0. Top of the order, Jack Peterson takes strike 1 from Wheeler. And Monty Grandal got back into that Dodger dugout undressed. The top part of the bench, about anything he could find, took his frustration out on it. Opened the door for 2 runs to score.
Dodgers fell behind 4-0 yesterday, came back.
Sharply hit foul.
An unlikely offensive source led them back in that game, with Austin Barnes hitting his 2nd home run of the year. Who knows where the offense will come from today?
Strike 3 to the corner. He has lived on those edges. Guy that has enough velocity where you don't even really need that has incorporated that into the equation as well.
Morongo slow-mo cam. Little slider / cutter right there, backdooring it.
Strikeout number 6 for the 28-year-old from Smyrna, Georgia. That's ball 1 on Verdugo. Now Wheeler used to be a Giants farmhand. They drafted him 6th overall in 2009. Soft grounder right side. Verdugo hustling. McNeil will beat him to first with the throw. 2 gone. Now Wheeler was traded to the Mets in exchange for Carlos Beltran. The deadline in 2011. Debuted for the Mets a couple of years after that. Some encouraging stuff early, but then missed 2 full seasons after Tommy John surgery. Now in his 4th year with Major League time. 2nd full year back. And even last year in his 1st full season back, continued to deal with arm issues. Had an ERA above 5. Only made 17 starts. He's got strike 1 on Turner. Got off to a slow start this season, but the last month or so, he's again tapping into what they were so excited about when they traded for him. 0-2. Turner lines it off Wheeler and is the first base runner for the Dodgers. I hope Wheeler's okay. That ball was struck well.
I'm taking a breath after this impact. Wow, anything to the pitching arm side of your body. You got to really watch out for the stiffness. Oh. Whoa.
Walker Buehler has a shoulder to cry on and play like that. Similar looking play back in early June that fractured a rib of Walker's.
Right off the chest.
We saw Carlos Martinez have a similar looking play here previous homestand, St. Louis.
They are not going to want to take any risks with him. The Mets are going nowhere, and He and Jacob deGrom are the foundation of their rotation. He'll have to prove to Mickey Callaway that he's okay and prove to himself a little bit.
'91 off of the bat. StatCast AI powered by AWS. Oh, good. He's going to send the training staff back. That's a painful way to lose a no-hitter. Lose a perfect game. Granted, it's only the 4th inning, but Dodgers have their first base runner against him as Turner lines the ball off him. And brings up Muncy.
If he's able to finish this inning, they will evaluate him again, and what he feels is going to change very quickly when the adrenaline's gone and all of a sudden he has time to cool down in between innings.
Check swing foul. Max took strike 3, called his first time. One of the 6 Ks for Wheeler. One ball and 1 strike. We're talking about Walker Buehler, pretty similar looking play. Eerily similar, really. Trevor Story hit that one off him. That was about 15 miles per hour harder, though, than the ball that Wheeler absorbed. Muncy turns on a ball. Forget about it. Halfway up the pavilion for Max Muncy, and the Dodgers are within 1. Crushed.
Climb back into this one in a hurry with Muncy. That ball was crushed. You don't see many up there.
443 feet. And we'll have Rick double check this, but I believe that's his longest home run of his 32. Cody Bellinger shows bunt, fouls it. 0-1. Every time the number grows, and it does so every 10 at-bats or so, the fastest rate of anybody in the game this year. But every time that number grows, it's a reminder of what a remarkable season Max Muncy's having. What a remarkable story Max Muncy is. Guy who didn't have a team at the start of last season. Dodgers gave him a chance, but he spent the whole year in AAA. Started this season in AAA. And 32 homers despite spending the first few weeks in the minors. Unbelievable.
It really is unbelievable. I mean, he could be on pace to have 40 home runs if he would have been in the big leagues at the beginning of the year. Still ridiculous year.
Bellinger down on an elevated fastball, and that's that for the Dodgers. But the 4th inning proves to be the one where the offenses crack through. The Mets get 3 in the top half. The Dodgers respond with a 2-run shot from Muncy. To the 5th we go. Baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by Carl's Jr. Well, to the fifth we go, and it was all pitchers over the first 3 innings, but the Dodgers opened the door a little bit with some shoddy defense for the Mets to get on the board. And this guy here, Max Muncy, didn't need any help to start the scoring for LA.
Well, Max Muncy has had a marvelous year, and to have 32 home runs and to be helping out in this division title race has got to be a dream for him. I don't think he could have dreamed it in spring training.
Yeah. Kevin Plawecki against Ryu takes ball 1.
You'd wake up from a dream that started like this, like, I got to wake up. This is a dream. This ain't happening.
Well, it's the kind you'd wake up from and say, dang, it was a dream. Right? Like, thought might be real. Nope, no chance. Hard hit down the line. Fair ball for Plawecki. He started the fifth with a double.
Been wearing out the right field line this series. Now the left field line. Mets are playing some good baseball. They are a tough opponent right now.
It looks like Wheeler is going to bat. That's a good sign after he took that line drive. Past a diving Dozier. Brandon Nimmo with a base hit into center. They will hold Plawecki at third. But again, the first 2 reach against Ryu.
Pitcher Zach Wheeler.
Very close to keeping in the infield, but I'm not sure you're going to record an out even if you capture that one. Wheeler's going to bat for himself, and the Dodgers have no action in their pen, and neither do the Mets. They're looking at a sacrifice situation right here.
Once it came charging in from third, Wheeler stabbed through it. Strike 1. Now, first time through the order, the Mets were 0 for 9. Second time through the order, 6 for 8. Oh, and 2.
Now you're looking for the strikeout and then the double play. Maybe get out of the inning with no runs. The first thing you got to accomplish is get the pitcher out right here without advancing anybody.
Pulls the bat back. Foul tips it into the glove. Strike 3. And that is a big first out for Hyun Jin. Still first and third, and back to the top for Rosario. It's continued his torrid hitting. 1 for 2 in this one. 6 for 10 in this series. For a guy who is still just 22 years old. Big time prospect out of the Dominican Republic, where his father is a lawyer and a judge, and education was very important in his family, so he finished up high school before he signed that deal. Takes ball 1, and his dad helped negotiate it.
Mets have been swinging early off of Ryu. 5 of their 6 of their hits have been on the first or second pitch. It's going to be a tough guy to double up with his speed.
Helped him out there. 1 ball, 1 strike. Ryu has 6 Ks today. One of them here would be huge. On a 1-1 pitch, he gets strike 2 with a changeup.
Had worked him inside, and now away. Rosario swinging a hot bat and not really making him throw a strike there.
Plawecki at third, Nimmo at first. Rosario rakes a ground ball foul, and we'll do it again.
You know, Justin Turner in this situation right here is going to have a decision to make, even on a hard hit ball. Can he really turn the double play going around the horn? Or does he have to come home? Rosario can just absolutely fly.
Going away again. Rosario flips it into right. On comes Verdugo. Can't get it. And the Mets lead at 4-2 on an RBI hit from Ahmed Rosario.
Second baseman, Jeff McNeil.
Alex Verdugo, I'll tell you, he should have had this ball. He does a nice job recovering quickly after he misses it. But anybody who talks to him right now, he's talking to himself, saying he should have had it.
Would have made for an interesting play at the plate. They decided to send the catcher Plawecki from third with the arm that Verdugo has.
And he was in a posture to use a pop-up slide if he catches that ball and be on his feet in a hurry.
Floater to left off of the bat of Jeff McNeil that Jock Peterson puts away.
First baseman Wilmer Flores.
And here's Wilmer Flores. Well, the Mets have 7 hits, but 2 of their 4 runs are unearned. And you could argue that the most recent run is also borderline as far as the Mets earning it and the Dodgers helping provide it. Muscles one into left center field. That's off the glove of Hernandez. Nimmo in to score, and it's 5-2.
Third baseman Todd Frazier.
It's been a couple of ugly innings after 3 perfect ones for Ryu. Balls are hit hard and balls are hit just out of people's reach. Nothing you can do about it except keep pitching and try and make better pitches.
So the inning kept alive for the cleanup man Frazier, who takes a ball.
Frazier, an ambush hitter. This could get ugly with one swing. You got to really bear down here and not feel the depression of all these balls that are slightly getting away from your fielders. This is a big out.
Good pitch, 2-1. Ryu hadn't given up more than 3 in a game this year. 5 of them through 4 2/3. Been a tough one to watch so far.
It really has. Frustrating when you're in a race the way the Dodgers are with Arizona and Colorado on top. Get some balls hit like this, it looks like you're going to have a real crisp pitcher's duel game, and now all of a sudden it's busted loose. You're going to have to pound out some hits. Ball near Kike, ball near Verdugo. Great throw from Jock Peterson in left field that Yasmani Grandal cannot hold on to, that not only cost you 1 run but another one on top of that.
Payoff to Frazier, and it's foul tipped into the glove for strike 3. But the Mets add 2 and lead it 5-2 halfway home. Elementary 1988, reliving the unforgettable 1988 NLCS. Dodgers and Mets. Of course, you hear all about the World Series for good reason, but an incredible NLCS. And part 2 of Dodger Elementary 1988, all about that series. As Yasmani Grandal takes ball 1 from Wheeler. That'll be presented by Land Rover tonight. Dodgers playing from behind. 2 runs came on a Max Muncy homer. One of the 2 hits against Wheeler, who has struck out 7. Muncy's home run, by the way, was the 2nd longest at Dodger Stadium this year. Only one longer, George Springer, in the series against Houston. Led off a game with a homer to center. Traveled farther than that. Yasmani Grandal, a guy who takes pride in his defense, and as with many catchers, a lot of times you have that to fall back on when things aren't going well at the plate. He takes strike 3 here, and so his struggles at the plate continuing. You know, that makes the struggles in the field in this game so far that much more frustrating for him.
He is carrying some disappointment right now. This pitch is a strike, and he will find that out when he sees it on video, but you don't blame Yasmani for being upset. He's carrying a lot today. It's been a very frustrating this first half of this game for him.
Here's Hernandez in a 5-2 game in the 5th. Taking a ball. Flied out his first time. Look at the breakdown, though, to his season. First 100 games, the average was at 214. Well above 300 since. The OPS 200 points higher. And when you dive in deeper and try to see what's behind those numbers, it's just about everything has improved for him. Biggest improvement has come in his ability to do damage against the fastball.
The eye test, too. Different approach, different person all the way around the whole game. The defense is much better because he's getting more reps because the offense is better. He's getting to face a right-handed elite starting pitcher. This was never in the equation last year.
Ground ball. Sprawling play by Frazier, and he throws him out.
Frazier makes a great play here, tumbling towards the third baseline. He actually does throw the legitimate real baseball over to first to record this out. No hidden ball trick there, just some really good baseball. And it's hit so hard, he just maintains his good baseball clock, makes the solid throw, and records the out.
So 2 gone 5th inning, and up comes Brian Dozier. With a strikeout his first time, Dozier now 1 for his last 23. Two and 0. Gently hit off the hands. Rosario. And a 1-2-3 5th for Zach Wheeler. Brought to you by T-Mobile. The Mets have 5 runs in this game, but 4 of them the product of some poor defense from the Dodgers.
Some errors and some where you just say we should have made the play, and those inches and failure to record outs on those plays have really hurt. They're going to make them have to come back in this game.
Michael Conforto leading off the 6th for New York. Took a strike from Hyun-Jin Ryu, who's back home with an 0-1. And a curve yanked to right on the line, base hit.
Center fielder Austin Jackson.
9 hits now for New York. That's only the second one that would be classified as hard hit.
Their other hits have all been sprinkled in.
Mm-hmm. Here's Austin Jackson. Strike one. Austin Jackson used to be one of the top prospects in all of baseball. Coming up with the New York Yankees. Yankees gave him an $800,000 signing bonus, which for an 8th rounder was a record. And they did that to keep him from going to Georgia Tech, where he was going to play baseball and basketball. Recruited by every major basketball program. And said he was inspired to work extra hard in baseball or in basketball, and people referred to it as his, quote, second sport to baseball. He kind of took that as a slight. Wanted to prove to people he could be great at 2 sports, and was. The Yankees drafted him, gave him a lot of money for an 8th rounder. Eventually traded him to the Tigers. Takes this one outside, 1-2. It was a big old trade. It was a 3-way deal that involved Max Scherzer and Curtis Granderson when he was in his prime. Gets him swinging for the first out of the 6.
Catcher Kevin Plawecki.
Wanted to come inside. Left it out over the plate, but got an out.
Now, before Conforto's leadoff single here in the 6th, it was Plawecki's double that was the only hard hit ball of the day. 0-1. They have rain in Denver, Oral, and so the Rockies and Giants delayed. I would imagine in the clubhouse watching this one. Poke to right, Plawecki's second hit of the night.
Verdugo with a little bobble out there, but he was looking up to maybe try and get the force at second. Now looking at the scouting report on where he should be.
Hey, what was your take on Joe West? I don't know if you read about that or heard about that at all, but Phillies had a reliever who pulled out a card from his back pocket with the scouting report, and Joe West went out there and told him he couldn't use it.
And you know the story of me doing that in the World Series in '88. So my take was Joe West had no grounds to not allow him to have it.
Joe cited that it was illegal under Rule 602 C7, which states that the pitcher shall not have on himself or in his possession any foreign substance, and Joe considered the card a foreign substance. 2-0 on Nimmo. Pedro Baez beginning to warm. Said he told the pitcher that we don't allow you guys to carry anything other than your glove. So that was his. But I just don't see why he couldn't have waited until after the game. 2-1.
Yeah, and maybe even called the league and said this might start with as complicated as scouting reports are getting and people not being able to memorize everything that they want to possibly do, that we're going to have more and more guys maybe have a card in their back pocket. Start writing on your glove. Have a different glove for every team. Have the scouting report on the inside fingers.
The ink is a foreign substance.
It's made in America. Probably I can get a nice Bic pen. Joe has always been slightly eccentric when it comes to umpiring.
Nimmo lifts one to right. Verdugo has to play it on a bounce. They'll go station to station, and they're loaded up. The league has since said, by the way, that Joe West was wrong, that it's not a violation of Rule 603C7. And so Austin Davis and the Phillies relievers, if they choose to, can have cards on them.
I applaud the league. There was no way that he was trying to do anything to take advantage of hitters other than have a little information that he didn't want to have to be forced to remember.
Mets have racked up 11 hits against Hyun-Jin Ryu over the last 2+ innings. Strike one on Zach Wheeler. Remember, he retired the first 9 in order.
And again, only 2 of them hit hard. That was another blooper right there. We opened with Ryu not really being a strikeout pitcher, always kind of guy looking for soft contact. He's got a lot of soft contact, just not at anybody.
And actually has a lot of strikeouts too. He's got 8 of those. Season high for Hyun-Jin strikeouts is 9. Wheeler puts it on the ground to second. Dozier with a juggle, and it doesn't cost him. They wind up turning the double play. Mets are going to say, hold on, let's take a look.
Another one where a Dodger would say, I should have had it, or I should have made it cleaner.
They say play on.
He is out.
Yeah. It looked like defense was about to cost Ryu another run, but instead it gets him out of the inning. 5-2 to the bottom of the 6th.
Down trying to salvage this game to get a series win against the New York Mets before heading to Colorado. Time now to look ahead, brought to you by Wells Fargo. You can see the pitching probables there. Clayton Kershaw will get game 1 against the right-hander John Gray. Then Walker Buehler will go up against Kyle Freeland. And on Sunday, left-hander Alex Wood will go up against Tyler Anderson. Naturally a gigantic series considering where these two teams are in the standings, guys. And another reminder, Kenley Jansen will not be making the trip.
All right, Alana, Zach Wheeler back out there with a 5-2 lead. And in the final tune-up before that key series, the Dodgers have not looked good tonight.
It has been really tough as far as the effort and as far as the execution. I would say an A for effort, but the execution has not been good at all. It has not been a clean game for them defensively.
Chase Utley will pinch hit for Hyun-Jin Ryu. Ryan Madsen. Looks like the 7th will be his. Here comes Wheeler with a strike on Utley. Already 8 Ks tonight for Wheeler. Utley hits a high line drive to right, but it's caught by Nimmo. Guy that through elementary school and through junior high, really until he got into his sophomore year of high school, wasn't even one of the best players on his own team. Didn't make any of the top travel teams in Georgia. And then when he was 15, 16 years old, he hit a huge growth spurt, and the velocity followed. So did the attention. They got him drafted 6th overall. Top of the order, Jock Peterson takes ball 1. It's a big baseball family that Zach grew up in. Had an older brother get drafted by the Yankees and played some minor league seasons before a shoulder injury ended his career. That's a little bit low on ball 3. His dad played in an amateur league for 15 years, well into his 40s. And actually his mom played competitive softball and used to put Zach in a playpen at the dugout on weekends at tournaments. So he was always growing up around bat and ball sports. Smyrna, Georgia native, home with a 3-1. Peterson takes inside 100. Hardest pitch he's thrown tonight, but it produces the first walk.
I guess he's not stiffening up from the line drive he took off the chest. That's impressive enough that he's continuing. Justin Turner hit this ball back at him at about 91 miles an hour, and he is still in there and just threw a ball 100.
Henry Rowan-Gardner here. Rookie of the Year, movie reference. You have to have seen Rookie of the Year, Oral.
When he throws the ball in from the outfield. Yeah.
Verdugo, strike 1.
I don't think I watched the whole thing. I was just impressed with the one throw.
Yeah, you didn't need to see anything else.
No, I know he's going to do well now.
Well, that's typical movie plot. He's gonna do well, and then he's gonna struggle, and then at the end, everybody's gonna be happy. Strike 2. Verdugo's 0 for 2 tonight. Pair of groundouts. Chokes up and waits on this 0-2. Peterson leads at first, and another 0-2 flies home. Another foul ball sails to the left.
Dodgers right here kind of sniffing a comeback. Coming into this part of the order with Turner and Muncy coming up. Verdugo can find a way to get on.
22-year-old swings and misses as that thing falls off of the table. And Wheeler has his 9th K.
Become part of the Dodger family in 2019. Purchase season tickets to enjoy exclusive experiences. Guarantee your seats for great promotional nights and exciting matchups, including the Cubs and the Yankees. Receive 2018 postseason rights with the purchase of your 2019 season tickets. Visit Dodgers.com/season tickets.
Here's Turner. Here's a man that hit that ball off of Wheeler. And in doing so is the first Dodger base runner of the game. It came with 2 out in the 4th. Turner crushes one to left center. Jackson to the track with room. Just missed it. And it stays 5-2 to the 7th. Brought to you by Kona Brewing Company. Ahmed Rosario came into this series heating up for New York, and he's kept it going. 7 for 11 in the 3 games against the Dodgers, including a couple of base hits in this one. And he's due to lead off the 7th with the Mets in front 5-2. He'll do so against a new pitcher, Ryan Madson, on to handle this inning for LA.
Ryan Madson, new to the Dodger uniform, looking to catch his stride. He comes in with a 96-mile-an-hour fastball that he averages around. The outstanding pitch that he has is his changeup. Curveball has not been there so far yet this year.
A pop fly foul, and 0-1 on Rosario. And as we've seen through recent years, the Dodger front office has no problem acquiring a reliever with a track record that may not have the same kind of numbers in the current season that they've shown that they can put up. But they'll only do that if there are a couple of other things at work. One of those being a little bit of buy-in. Has to be the right kind of personality that they're bringing over. Somebody who will be open to suggestion. And hoping with Ryan that they find some mechanical things, but also just some usage things. That's a strike, 1-2.
Rick Honeycutt has a great reputation for helping guys along, maybe making an adjustment mid-career, end of career. And the front office has done a very good job analyzing data and hitters' weaknesses and how a pitcher should attack them. If you're willing to buy into a scouting report and maybe some sequencing that you're not used to, and you're willing to make changes, Rick Honeycutt's going to help you, and so will the coaching staff in some other areas of strategy.
Digs it out, short center. Dozier off his glove. That kind of night. One of the ugliest of the year for the Dodgers defensively.
He gets up a little gimpy too. That injury to insult. That hits the heel of the glove, and not much sticks there.
They do give Rosario a hit, his third. And the leadoff man on against Madson. Jeff McNeil now. Slicing into left. Long way to go for Hernandez, and that's in no man's land. Dunk shot of a hit. Couple themes to this game. The poor defense, but also the softly hit balls falling in for New York.
Both middle infielders. Dozier with the clank. Graded a base hit. This one, Kike makes a wonderful play. Bare hands it, gets it back into Justin Turner, but those two knees going against a padded wall, that does not feel good at all.
And just kind of an awkward finish to it. Tonight, our pets' heads are falling off.
Okay, here we go.
Here's Flores.
I feel like I've got some homework coming tonight. Got to go home and watch a movie.
Well, that's one you've seen, Oral.
Is this Dodgeball or Dumb and Dumber?
Yeah.
Okay. This. Oh.
Just looked awkward more than it looked violent.
And one knee gets padding and one knee gets the sign.
Two on, nobody out. Three-hitter Wilmer Flores pulls it foul, and he's behind 0-2. That's foul. Still no balls, 2 strikes on Flores.
No outs here. You really have got to try and shut this inning down. Down by 3. Wheeler with only 83 pitches. He's gone as high as 114. And he's throwing the ball exceptionally well today.
Flores pops it into shallow center field. Hernandez backs out, and he's got it for out number 1.
Third baseman number 21, Todd Frazier.
And here's Frazier. Strike 1. Strike 2.
96 miles an hour with some movement.
Gets him swinging with a changeup.
13-mile-an-hour differential from the last pitch with approximately the same movement and a slightly different location.
Two on, two out, and a 5-2 game in the 7th, and Michael Conforto stands in against the 38-year-old Ryan Madsen. Former closer for the Phillies. Back in the late part of the first decade this century. And went 4 years between throwing a pitch in the majors. 2011 had a 32 save season with Philadelphia, but then underwent Tommy John surgery and had a really hard time coming back from it. Another good looking changeup. He's ahead 0-2. So tough that he retired for a while, took a year away from baseball. I didn't really have any plans of coming back until he was mentoring a high school pitcher, and just the games of catch he was playing with him gave him that itch again. Started to feel himself again. Gave it a shot. He's been good. It's in the dirt. It's 1-2. It's Kansas City that signed him to his first deal after those few years away from the game. And in 2015, he put up an ERA around 2 for Kansas City. It's one of the great stories in baseball that year. Another good year in Oakland in 16. Split last year between Oakland and Washington. Pretty remarkable for a guy who thought that he was finished. Home of the 1-2. Conforto down the line, foul. He was trying to battle back from that Tommy John surgery. His wife was giving birth to their 5th child. At that point, he just kind of thought that, you know what, maybe it's not worth all this effort, this tedious rehab, without feeling like I'm making any progress. And so went home to be dad, just be around. Dug out, flipped into right, base hit Conforto. Throw to the plate from Verdugo, not in time. Rosario's in to score, and the Mets lead at 6-2.
Fielder number 16, Austin Jackson.
Conforto out in front of this changeup, but has enough swing left, releasing the top hand to extend it through the hitting area. Rosario's speed is the only reason Verdugo and his great arm is safe. Normal runner didn't have a shot at him.
Austin Jackson gets a chance here with 2 out. Men at the corners. Takes the ball. Yeah, you would have totally understood if Ryan Madsen just said that was it after going home with his family. I mean, he had pitched 9 major league seasons at that point, some very good ones in Philly. This one gets to the backstop, and another run comes home.
Without a huge comeback from the Dodgers, this is going to be a game to forget, and forget very quickly, especially with an off day and then going into Colorado for such a big series. Right now, this one does not taste very good to anybody. The fans, the team, the coaching staff. So many little frustrating things that they have not executed on.
Two and one on Jackson. Well, the Mets tonight, 3 in the 4th, 2 in the 5th, and now 2 here in the 7th.
The whole game flipped after the 3rd. They were perfect, both pitchers.
It's like 2 different games.
Yeah.
0 base runners through 3. Now in the last 3+ innings, 9 runs on 16 hits combined.
Been like the 405 at rush hour since the 3rd finished.
In other words, a place you don't want to be.
Yeah, exactly.
(3-1). Jackson chops it up the middle. Hernandez there. That's it. Stretch time at Dodger Stadium. The offense will try and recover an otherwise ugly afternoon. 7-2 New York.
Refreshing finish. Let's take a look at the stats on Max Muncy's blast. 108 miles an hour, almost 109. One of the farthest home runs this year hit at Dodger Stadium, and Max Muncy's 32nd was a thrill to watch.
Here he is to lead off the 7th with the Dodgers down 7-2. Big hole to dig out of against Zach Wheeler, is only at 83 pitches. One ball, no strikes. One 1.
Normally you talk about chipping away, but when you're in the 7th down by 5, you need big bites.
Well, you feel like there's some hope if you can get Wheeler out of the game with as bad as the Mets bullpen is. Pitch count at 86, now 87 as Muncy gets under it. Hopes that it fades its way out of play, and it won't. It's Frazier. 1 out.
It's a crazy catch with those two coming together. Didn't look like either one really wanted it. I'm not sure if there was any communication at all because neither one is sure. They both end up in the vicinity, but Frazier just makes a little basket catch.
Been an adventurous few days for him over there. Been an adventurous first year for that man. Mickey Callaway had him at 11-1. It was the toast of town Toast to Major League Baseball over the first couple weeks of the year. Best record they'd ever had at that point. Cody Bellinger, ball one. After that 11-1 start, though, they went 26-53 over the next few months. That included a month of June when the Dodgers saw them. They were 5-21. Wheeler throws a 2-0, and Bellinger hits one down the line towards the corner. His fourth home run against Wheeler.
Top tier play. Cody Bellinger knew he got it. Zach Wheeler knew he got it.
It's 4 home runs against Wheeler, the most for Bellinger against any pitcher. Ball one on Grandal.
Dodgers are 41-12 when they hit 2 or more home runs, but they still got some digging to do in this one. The home run by Muncy and now the one by Bellinger is going to challenge that record.
Bullpen starts to go. Seth Lugo. As Wheeler pitches a 1-1, Grandal strokes it foul, strike 2. Two and two. Ground ball, but the shift will take it away. Well, it's been good to see Hernandez stay in the game after it looked like he jarred something in his lower body, making a play up against the sidewall. Ball one.
Wheeler with 9 Ks today, and he's had it all working. 3 with the fastball, 2 with the curveball, 2 with the slider, and 2 with the changeup. This could be his last inning. Creeping up against that 100-pitch mark, but he's done that several times this year with the high of 114 that we mentioned earlier.
That's all relative because there's 7 runs in support of him, but these 3 runs that he's allowed, it's the most he's given up in almost 2 months. On a 3-0 pitch, Kike Hernandez takes ball 4. He's aboard with a 2-out walk, and Brian Dozier will hit. Typically the damage has come in the later innings. Tonight the Dodgers getting 2 in the 4th, 1 here in the 7th, and hoping to inch a little bit closer.
Pop one out here, you make it a game again.
This is a guy that can do it. 20 homers this year for Dozier. 100th pitch of the night. Clips the corner, strike 1. Nothing overly stressful. 2-0. Or 1-1, beg your pardon. Machado on deck. Hernandez off of first as the 1-1 comes home, and Dozier hacks and misses 1-2.
That fastball really crowded him. 97 mile an hour and just some really good run. 102 pitches, but not lost any life.
Drops a splitter in there, 2-2. Bellinger's solo homer has the Dodgers within 4. Two. Diamondbacks off today. And the Rockies are in a delay in Denver, getting ready to face the Giants in the finale in that series. Dodgers trailing by a half game. 2-2. Dozier gets under it. It'll pop up left side for Rosario, and that's it for the Dodgers in the 7th. The Bellinger home run has them a step closer, but they trail 7-3. Of Access Sportsnet Dodgers, presented by your Southern California Ford dealers.
All right, thanks, Joe. It seems like at times through 7 innings, Neds, what could go wrong for the Dodgers has gone wrong in this game.
Well, they've had 2 uphill battles. Zach Wheeler's been great, and the defense a little bit shaky tonight.
That's right. Mets still need to get 6 outs. Dodgers need 4 runs to tie. We'll see you guys after the game.
All right, guys. Wheeler getting the congratulations and a job well done. He's saying congratulations back to you guys, finally getting me some run support. Pat Venditti on to pitch the 8th for the Dodgers. The catcher, Kevin Plawecki, who is 2 for 3 today, takes ball 1.
Josh Fields had his first outing coming back off the DL, and it was a rough one, but Pat rescued it with a bases loaded, no out situation. He came in and didn't do that. Got 3 outs.
So the leadoff man on for New York.
Right in the ribs, it will take your breath away.
It's the 5th consecutive inning the Mets have had the leadoff man on. Taking advantage of that 3 of the previous 4 times. What's the hardest you ever got hit? The most painful hit by pitch you ever took?
I got one right around that area once, and I deserved it. It was a semi-beanball war. It was against Pittsburgh.
How about it, right fielder number 9,
Does not feel good on the side. You're glad it's not at the head, but that's one of the worst places to get hit, right in your rib cage. Hardest I was hit was by a Dale Murphy line drive off the shin. That did not feel good at all.
Right in the bone?
Yep, right on the bone, on crutches by the end of the game. It was actually the last game of spring training. We were about to break camp.
Oh, did you miss any time?
A little bit. And Pedro Guerrero got hurt at the same time, sliding into third. Tore his knee up.
1-0 on Nimmo. That's a bad last day.
It was a bad plane ride to LA, breaking camp out of Vero Beach.
What year?
Oh, I'm thinking 84-ish. Maybe 85, maybe. Who knows, Joe? It's been so long.
Ball and a strike. You got a good memory, though.
Yeah. For Foggy.
Good for Foggy?
For Foggy, yeah, it's good.
Ground ball to second. They'll have to hurry with the way Nimmo runs. Able to turn it. 4-6-3 double play.
Nimmo standing on first base, and they want the umpires to take a look at it in New York. I'd like to see it again. He's going to be safe.
I think you're right.
Safe by about 2 inches. You said it earlier, the first base umpires, whoever's been stationed there, have had a rough series.
I think this will be the 4th time that the first base umpire has been overruled in these 3 games. That can't be a good feeling, and I imagine their coach to not have a visible reaction when they get the word on the headphones, right? You were wrong, because if you're just being human,
can you imagine
throw your hands up?
The umpire taking off the headset and throwing it to the ground like a hitter with his bat or his helmet? The next baseball comedy movie will definitely have that in it. Are you kidding me? It's the 3rd one tonight. Wham! Mike Levy, our producer, just said in my headset, and the other ump throws the umpire out of the game.
He ejects him for showing him up. So Nimmo is safe. And it'll be 1-on-1 out.
If you had a roster of extra umpires at every game, and if a guy makes a call and gets reversed, he gets replaced.
Next, Dominic Smith. Doesn't it seem like umpire stats should be a more mainstream thing that you can look up with how many things we're tracking in this day and age? Strike one.
They're definitely there, but they're not really exposed to the public. And that might be a good thing or a bad thing.
One-on-one on Smith. What would be the drawback of it?
A little more verbal abuse to the umpires that don't quite have stats that are close to the standards, but you've got to have them out there. They're still the best in the world.
Could be two here, and it is. And the inning is over. To the bottom of the eighth we go. Venditti with a scoreless top half. Day, the final home game of the season. You can come away with an Oral Hershiser bobblehead, courtesy of your SoCal Honda dealers. Go to Dodgers.com/promotions to learn more about how you can get the final bobblehead of the season, and it's a good one.
My teeth have never been that white.
So it's a good one, even though it has inaccurate teeth.
Yeah, it's been touched up.
Yeah. Tomas Nido is on to catch Seth Lugo as the Mets turn it over to the bullpen.
We saw Seth Lugo for an inning in the first game of this series. Had a scoreless inning. Gave up a couple of hits. Had some traffic, though. Dodgers would like to create some traffic here and get some runs across the plate. Get back into this.
Got the two-run shot from Muncy in the fourth. Got the solo shot from Bellinger in the seventh. Here in the eighth, Chris Taylor leads it off and takes a first pitch curve for a strike. Kenley Jansen set to get some work no matter what, with not traveling with the Dodgers to Colorado this weekend, as Alana Rizzo reported earlier. Joined the team in Cincinnati on Monday. A ball and 2 strikes. One up.
On field number 31, John Peterson.
Top of the order, Jock Peterson.
Even with the 2 home runs from the Dodgers today, the offense has definitely been flat. Only 3 hits. The explosion yesterday with 11 runs.
One.
Lugo throws a few more of those change-ups to left-handers. But the right-handers, mainly the curveball and the slider, are the off-speed pitches.
If the score stays here, it'll be the 7th time in the last 8 games they failed to get to 4. Yet 5-3 in that stretch. And as you have often talked about, Coors Field a good place to go to try and find some offense. On a 2-1, Peterson takes ball 3.
Yeah, as important as the games are going to be in Colorado, it would be a bad time to have an offensive flat tire. And going into Colorado, hitters are usually licking their chops. And pitchers are like, okay, let's go try and survive it. But this one is going to be toe-to-toe with the team that's in front of you.
Full count. You know, after today, 22 games remaining. That's it. And only 6 of them here.
Dodgers have been a better road team than home team. And the 3 contenders in the West are all better on the road than they are at home.
Speaking of the contenders, Rockies are underway and the Giants have a run already. 1-0, top of the first. Peterson flies one to right field. McNeil out. Nimmo calls him off, and Peterson is out number 2. Now the Dodgers have a bunch of games left in the division, and then they also have Cincinnati and St. Louis on the upcoming road trip.
Number 61, Alex.
3 games against San Diego to finish off the home schedule. Boy, it's going to be a fascinating final road trip of the year, because it seems like at this point it's probably coming down to the final few days. And the Dodgers go 3 in Arizona, 3 in San Francisco to finish the year. Here's Verdugo taking ball 1. You know, the Giants, with not a whole lot to play for as far as their own season goes, would love nothing more than to derail their rivals' season in the final days. A 2-0. Tapper right side. Lugo beating Verdugo to the bag. And the Dodgers down in order in the 8th. Dodgers baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by your SoCal Land Rover retailers. Kenley Jansen getting some work in here in the 9th inning with the Dodgers down 7-3. This will be the last time that he pitches until at least Monday in Cincy.
Trying to get him in front of big league hitters. He's going to rest and be working out here at Dodger Stadium while the Dodgers are on the trip to Colorado to avoid any complications with his heart issue. The Dodgers trying to get him an inning of work right here. Kenley trying to post a 0 to keep it at 7-3.
Top of the order, Rosario has got 3 more hits today. 8 for 12 in the series. He'll be the man that greets Kenley. Strike 1. There's a really great article about Kenley Jansen that Kevin Baxter wrote in LA Times last October. It's definitely worth Googling and learning a little more about what makes Kenley Kenley. That's fouled in strike 2. One of the stories from that article that Kevin wrote, I think we've shared once or twice, but around the same time Kenley made his major league debut, his family back in Curacao was struggling to make ends meet. His dad had just suffered a stroke, and that led to the loss of his construction company because he used the money that they had left to defend business-related lawsuit. He strikes out Rosario for the first out. And so Kenley, in those first big league checks that come in, this was 2010. First per diem checks that he got, he was wiring those to his family just so they had food. You know, these big leaguers are getting per diem checks. This is kind of what happens, but family back in Curacao was relying on that money. And then later that summer, he was sending his full major league paychecks back home to help his family out. Kenley Jansen does what he does for his family. Ball 1 on McNeil. Started playing baseball when he was 6 because that's what his older brothers did. Older brother Vernie is 8 years older than Kenley. Hardly 4 years older than Kenley. He was an infielder when he started out. An outfield. That's a strike 1-1. Moved to shortstop. It was until Andrelton Simmons showed up, and Andrelton Simmons wants to play short. He gets to. So Kenley moved to third, then across the diamond to first, and then he was the catcher. That's, of course, what he signed with the Dodgers as. 1-2. After school each day, he and his 2 older brothers would spend the afternoon at his grandparents' house while mom and dad finished off the workday. And in the neighborhood that his grandparents lived in, there was this old legendary coach who each day would drive around honking the horn to his truck, picking up all the kids in the neighborhood that wanted to come play a pickup game. Tying 2-2. It's like a scene out of a movie. Legendary neighborhood coach honking his horn, buzzing up and down the city streets. Who wants to go to the neighborhood field and play? Kenley did. His brothers did. Andrelton Simmons did. P.D. Gregorius. A 2-2. Neal pops it up left side. Easy play for Justin Turner. 2 out. But again, check it out for yourself. Kevin Baxter. It's October of last year. Pretty sure you can pull that up just with a quick search. Well worth reading. Here's Wilmer Flores with 2 gone and a 7-3 game in the 9th. 2-0.
2-0, but the 10 pitches he's thrown have been very crisp. All have cut, all have been in the general direction or area where he wants them. So it's been a good workout for Kenley so far. Another outstanding one right there, outer half with good late cut.
And with conviction. Punch to right. Muncy down the line. Verdugo on. They're out of room, and it's 2-2. Got him. Kenley Jansen, 1-2-3, 9th inning. Let's go to the bottom half. Hits. They have 3 on 3 and trail at 7-3 as we go to the bottom of the 9th. Joe Davis, Orel Hershiser, Alana Rizzo. The heart of the Dodge order coming up. Justin Turner to lead things off against Seth Lugo. Rockies have jumped in front already. Trevor Story just hit a 460-foot home run right down the left field line. A strike on Turner. What a year he's had. Fly ball center field. Austin Jackson for the first out of the 9th.
First baseman number 13, Max Muncy.
Well, Muncy has one of the big Dodgers swings today. 2-run home run, his 32nd. Strike one. article on Fangraphs today or yesterday about Trevor's Story. Headline is Trevor's Story is making an all-time improvement in the way that he's cut his strikeout rate. It's been behind his breakout season for the Rockies. Dodgers about to see him after an off day tomorrow. They'll head to Denver. 3-game series with the Rockies. They'll either trail by a half game if the Giants can come back and win tonight, or a game and a half going into that critical 3-game series.
This lineup here that is mainly against right-handed pitching will be back at it after the off day, the travel day to Colorado, because John Gray leads off the series for the Rockies. But then 2 lefties, so you'll see a different lineup for Dave Roberts and the Dodgers in the second and third game of the series. Machado will be back in there for sure.
1-1. This will be the Dodgers' first series loss against a team that you figure they should beat, since they dropped 2 of 3 to San Francisco in early August. Bellinger smokes it on the ground. 1 bounce. Rosario dug out by Flores, and the New York Mets have taken 2 of 3 to stunt the Dodgers' momentum here in September.
Mets leave LA with smiles on their face. The Dodgers go with some incentive to get it back in gear as they head to Colorado for the big series.
Player of the game brought to you by Lexus is Zach Wheeler, who is fantastic, going 7 innings, striking out 9, and holding the Dodgers to those 3 runs on the Muncy homer and the Bellinger homer.
He did an amazing job recovering from this shot, but continued to show the outstanding ability as he has mowed down the league since the All-Star break.
So it's on to Denver. Off day tomorrow, and the 3-game series opening on Friday night. For Earl Hershiser, Lana Rizzo, and the rest of our crew, Joe Davis saying so long from Dodger Stadium. Stay tuned. Access Sportsnet Dodgers begins now.